Alright, hello everyone. So welcome to Wednesday, 7th of May. So what do we got here? We've got gold, and these are the trading hours. I've already put them on there. So here we've got a few hours to look out for. Now today, the good hours, well, this was a good one. This is also a good one here. Okay, so the market is a bit optimistic right now. 11:40, if you take a look at your hours, 11:40 is here. But I'm not sure about this one, so this is a question mark. The other good hours are the market. If the market carries on like this, we should push into 3 o'clock. Okay, so if it wants to go up, it should go into 3 o'clock, or if we go like this, it could come into 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock is a zone we'll have to look out for, because the market will have some energy, and it might go both ways. So when should we get in? The good hours to trade today is 7 to 7:30. Okay, so you can go ahead. I've put 6:50 to 7:30 there for Wednesday, so check the hours. I've just made a minor adjustment. There was just 6:50 there, so I added 6:50 to 7:30. All right, so just make sure you check the hours again, because I've done that 7:30 addition today. If the market turns in that time period, we should target closing. Okay, so the market should go until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and to closing. So it's not a bad time at all. Okay, this is also not a bad time as well. The market might, find itself coming down. It might fall into Thursday as well. Okay, so we'll have to see how that pans out. But the good hours are going to be there, and pretty much, if that's the case, the market could keep pushing into 7:30. All right. Now, after 7:30, be careful, because instead of turning, the market might break down. Okay, if it's going down, the market may break further down. Okay, so be careful. If it does, it's got targets. Why? Because that's 46. 3,234 is there, so the weekly is going to be a target there. On that note, we've got 64, 3166, which we already marked in. Okay, it's down there, 3166 there. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of this for the moment. And 3,303 is, I don't think it's any longer valid. Okay, so we don't have that. Why did I put that there? Because it's probably a Fibonacci level. Okay, so if I squeeze this a little bit, this is, coming in from the swing day. Remember, swing day Friday, okay, and then swing day Monday. So Friday and Monday we had swing days. If I take that, that's the level. So coming here is our 37.5. Okay, that's why I've got that there. But if it gets there, there's room to come down. Okay, why? Because of the gaps here. Okay, so we're looking, the market may pretty much go down into Thursday, so be careful on that note. Okay, and that's basically it. Okay, and that's like coming into 750 now. Okay, so there's a bit of a gap here. As you can see, the market fell down quickly. There are gaps here as well. It's not a swing day, so if you want to wait for a swing day, fine. If you want to, I don't know, if you want to trade in the middle of nowhere, this is a bit in the middle of nowhere. Okay, we could say that was a breakout, and this is the support it did afterwards on the retrade. Yeah, there's still room to come down here. Okay, so yeah, it's a bit tricky because we're in the middle of nowhere. If we were up high a little bit more and want to sell, we could do a tight stop loss, but that's basically it. Okay, let's take a look at the euro dollar. Okay, so we had Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Monday again. So I did say if the market breaks out above the weekly pivot, This is yesterday, right? I said if we break above the weekly pivot, stay up there, then a pullback into a trading hour is good to buy. If you did that, you should have been okay. All right. Today, what to do with it? Well, today is a different day, but today is a good buy kiss right on 56. If you were following it with your PST, that's 1325, which is pretty much done. That's your PST level, okay? And that's your trading hour there, all right? And that's that. Now, if you want to buy this here, you can, okay? Because it's a balance of a good buy kiss. Those are the targets there. I've put those targets there: 1410, 1444, 1411. So those levels are still kind of like good to kind of like push up from this weekly and the good buy PST zone. Yesterday, as you can see, the market broke out. It closed higher, okay? So the trend is still up, coming back to retest to push up is okay. On the weekly, we still have room to come down. So what to do? On the weekly, we still have room to come down, okay? So you got to play it with a smaller lot size because we've got room to come down here, okay? So this could all go pear-shaped, okay? This, I also talked about this, that, you know, we could have a high to do a swing day too. Currently it hasn't, so I deleted that arrow pointing to the downside, okay? But you have to be careful here. This is a tricky situation because we are at the tops, okay? And this has room to break, okay? This has got room to break. So be mindful. It's turned into a rectangle, so I don't mind buying the lows. You could do it with a smaller lot size, I guess, okay, in that zone. And you can cover the trade here, okay? If you go long here, that's the PST, 1345 right now. It's about 20 pips stop loss, 25 point stop loss. Will it cover that? 13, yeah, it will cover that. Just, okay, it'll just cover that now. So that's basically it on the daily pivot zone here. All right, so it's a little tricky because we're in between levels, okay? But like I said, it's on the PST, on the small time frame, and also on the daily goodbye kiss level, okay? If we were to do a trade on that, do a small lot size and do it that way, okay? And like I said, be mindful of the 1140. You'll need to match to cover your trade there. All right, and we could actually enter a trade here. Let's do a small lot trade. And we'll do it 0.5. And I will, because the timing is right, I'm not gonna do a stop loss too far out. I'm gonna do a 1335. 35 there, and I want to cover that trade 1365 there, okay? If we go any higher, let's do that again. $1.1335, and then I want to do a 1410, there. All right, and so we've got two trades there. So if we cover, we're fine, okay? If the market moves up from here, I want to keep an eye on this 1140, sorry, there, okay? So be mindful of that. And that's basically it. If the market goes in our direction, it could push pretty much into, it could turn into pretty much a flow day. So we'll have to be careful. If this goes pear-shaped, don't stand in front of it, just get stopped out. Let's take a look at SP 500. Now SP 500, I said if it like ends up high somewhere we can sell. It didn't do that. Okay, it just did not do that. And today it went up, so we're in the middle, we're in mid levels. There's nothing really to trade here until we get somewhere nice and easy. If you want to sell, you got to do it from the top on a swing day. We don't have a swing day today. Yeah, we don't have a swing day today. So then what? Well, could this turn into a low? Okay, because it's a swing day. Could it be the start from a low to an up move? It could. Okay, it could. And how are we going to know about it? Well, we can know about it. We can't know about it until we break out, but what we can do is this. New York to Asia buying. You'll have to wait for this. You have to wait for the New York hours for this one, because those New York hours, well, this 750 is also good, okay, but you guys will already not be getting the getting this video until this is like over. So if in New York we're down somewhere, okay, like here, closing gap or whatever, and you want to buy with caution, because I did say we could have a breakout as well after 6:50 to 7:30 time period, so you got to be careful. Okay, if the market goes up, breaks above, it's already broken above the high of yesterday, as you can see, like there's good buying opportunity here. The market can keep pushing up. Don't stand in front of it trying to sell it off, okay, because it just might turn pear-shaped. Okay, so don't do it. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, it's a bit sticky, so we have to wait for the New York session where the good hours are, and this 750 isn't the best spot for buying at this moment, okay, because we're a bit too up and there's a big gap here as well. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. So Dow Jones, Nasdaq, they're probably going to be the same kind of setup. And if that's the case, the market will probably look to go in a similar way. So let's see, maybe we'll get a better focus here. So on this one as well, with Dow Jones, remember I had a trade in yesterday, but a small one. Okay, it wasn't really relevant. And that went bad, but it was just basically $120 loss, so nothing major. Because I don't trade the Dow much. Like, same here as well. You know, there's a big gap here and I don't like the situation. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, we could turn south on this one. That's a good buy kiss zone here. And Dow Jones had a swing day Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. All right, so that's basically, I'd rather sell this one. Okay, so that's a Monday. And that's a Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. So selling the highs downwards, I think, is a better option to go. Okay, so if we end up somewhere where we are closing gaps, like closing gap, and you want to sell, I think you can. That looks like a better option to sell than to buy. Okay, and then we've got target on the weekly to 42, 39,722. So if we do fall down, 39,722, well, it's just way down there. Okay, so what we'll need to do is be careful as we go down. Okay, but you know, selling is looking like the better option on this one. So selling where the market sold before is looking like a better option at trading hours. Nasdaq, let's check it out. Nasdaq, same thing. All right, we've got Nasdaq Monday, swing day. That was your Monday. So selling, that's your Monday, right? Yeah, Monday. So selling this zone I think is a better option. And that's basically it, I think. Same here, guys, with this one too. Dow Jones and Nasdaq look a bit more logical. Okay, so that's a sell zone, that's a swing day, and selling it in, selling it down, I think is the better way to go. Be careful at 19,424 and 53, 19,612 is where you want to make sure you're managing the trade. Okay, it's that level there. Other than that, the weekly's got room to go into 44, so 19,132, put that on your chart as a thing. So you can see this is a impulse wave market pulling up, and we probably want to sell again, and that's the way I would go with it as well. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, swing days were Monday, and that's your Monday. All right, so Monday. Now, yes, now this is today, so the market had a big up move today. Monday we made a low, Tuesday retest, going up. I still say this is too high to buy. Okay, so if I was to just do this, extend this along, oops, like this. In my opinion, this is still, it's a high level to buy, and I wouldn't be buying here. All right, so that's Monday. Sunday, Monday, market goes down. Okay, and now we're up, stop sweeping again. It's pretty volatile, and that's a good buy kiss. So if you're using your PST, you should be on top of it. 69.41, 97.454, 97. Today that was 97.45. Well, there you go. 450, let's say. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Spot on. And it's at a trade hour as well. Okay, so 450 was a trade hour. There you go. All right, so we hit a PST level, trade hour market coming down. So I don't mind actually selling this off at trade hours. Also here as well, 750 there. Just a slight gap here, nothing too big, and nothing there. So this might be a nice trap for the market for anyone who broke out and then they sold off. But that's a PST level there. All right, so if we're at the top, selling downwards, I think for me is like a better option, because I wouldn't want to be a buyer at the tops here. Obviously, if we break above the high, again, you don't want to be in that trade, but that's a good level to sell. Your stop loss should be just above the high of today. Okay, so yeah, and then you can follow it through, and then if this thing goes pear-shaped, we should come further down. These are your target levels there. So 52, 93,276, 92,797, 92,505 are your three targets on the daily there. Okay, also on the weekly, if you take a look, we've already done the targets. So anyone buying here, I think, is buying expensive. If you're day trading it, I'd be on the buyer's side from the highs at trading hours. Okay, I hope that helps. Any questions, dramas, always feel free to reach out to me.